Hello, I have a lot of friends who work at their desk job and dreaming on making their own startup. I also meet beginning entrepreneurs around the world, in the internet and in real life. And I constantly get approached with one question. How do I find an idea for my own startup? Idea is where it begins, and many people are struggling to make this first step. Choose an idea for their own project. I have created over 20 products. Some were successful, some of them were failure. And with all this my experience, I'm ready to discuss this topic: how to find and validate an idea for your own startup. A product must solve a problem. Idea is just a way to solve this problem. If the problem you want to solve is weak, no one will care about your product. Even if it's the most amazing, the most elegant, the most powerful and fast. The problem comes first, and then a solution. That's why it's important to pay attention to the problem you want to work with and validate it properly. Pain. It's a cool idea to solve a pain from your own life. It's cool to solve your own pain because you are already into this problem. You know the context, the industry, and all the aspects of this problem. If you're not solving a problem of your own, you will need to make a lot of extra work. You will need to do a lot of customer development. It includes learning the industry, learning the audience, talking to experts in this industry. That's a lot of work. So where do I find the pain? The most important is to be attentive. Always look around. Find potential problems which you can solve as an entrepreneur. It's a way of thinking. When you see something is not perfect, when you see something can be automated or improved or completely changed in some way, there is a potential idea for your startup. Keep asking yourself questions. Why we did this in this way, not in another? What makes you angry and why? Why do restaurants don't have a charger for your phone? Or my favorite one, why doesn't Google Calendar allow to select multiple tasks and move them forward by 1 hour all at once? There are a lot of examples of how founders started their companies by just being attentive and focusing on their own problems. Drew Houston, the founder of Dropbox. Drew forgot his thumb drive in a plane, but he needed his files really urgently. So he thought of an idea of storing files in a cloud. This is how Dropbox was born. Being just attentive isn't enough if you're sitting on your desk and doing one job all day during your whole life. You also need to be constantly discovering new stuff. Create a video blog, get a pet, start streaming your coding process online on Twitch. There are a lot of industries in the world and each has its own pains. I see a lot of programmers which are living inside their code editor. It's their cozy, comfortable own world. They get paid really well, they have similar friends. It's a perfect way to escape from the real world. So my advice is to go outside and learn something new. So you may want to ask me, hey man, I don't have any pains. Life is perfect. Like you. Most possibly your friends have pains. Be attentive. They have problems they don't even know about. Try to listen really carefully. People really like talking about their problems. Okay, never you don't have any pains, nor your friends. But you want to make your own startup. Here is another way to find an idea for your project. Take something and make a simpler version of it. Example, OK Remote by Peter Levels. It's a small job board, but really simplified. Or you can make a more complex product. For example, Notion. It's a Google Docs, but really more powerful. Of course, it will take more resources to build it. You can also niche down an existing product. For example, my project, Unicorn Platform. It's a website builder, but niched only for startups. All other website builders allow to create websites for everybody. E-commerce, hospitals, startups, blogs, personal websites. I took this idea and really cut down all the rest, keeping only startups. We have templates for startups, we have support managers who know everything about startups, and startups, such as mobile applications, SaaS, software companies, are really enjoying using our tool because we are focused on their problem. Really seriously. That wasn't an ad, I'm just too passionate about Unicorn platform. Another way is to reinvent user experience. A perfect example is Tinder. It was really innovative to search for new connections by swiping people left and right. Or you can use new technologies to reinvent UX. For example, VR or AR. However, if you just copy-paste an existing product without new approach, new vision, new features, or niching down, you're risking to become just another copy, and you will need to pay a lot of attention into marketing and promoting your thing. If you have connections or if you're a good marketer, copy-pasting an existing tool may be a good idea to start your own project. Also, you can create a problem. For example, you can promote an idea of wearing handmade clothes in your city and create an online marketplace for selling handmade clothes. So you found an idea or even created a list of potential ideas. Before jumping into your code editor, let's take a pause and ask yourself a couple of questions. First question: does the problem really exist? Second question: do we need a painkiller or a vitamin? Are your future clients ready to pay for solving this problem in a fundamental way, or a temporary solution is fine to them? Both are okay, but you need to clearly understand what your product will be, a painkiller or a vitamin. The third question: how long will this problem be actual? If this is a short-term product, will you be able to ship it really fast, until the trend goes down? Fourth question: what your future clients will be ready to give away to solve this problem? Next question: what are the existing solutions which solve your problem? Make a research, create a list, try to talk to the existing customers of these competitors, and possibly reach the founders of these tools and ask them what they think about this problem. And the last question: what disadvantages all these competitors have? And the most important, what are the chances that they will solve these disadvantages in the nearest future? Or what is the chances that a company which solves your pain will be created in the nearest future by someone else? Maybe by a huge company such as Google? If you will answer to all these questions, you will understand your idea really deeply. The types of problems. A long-lasting problem is a type of problem when a company, for example, uses a software which is a pain to use, but there are no other solutions of this problem. Another type of a problem is a problem which depends on the outer world. For example, GDPR compliance. Thousands of companies suddenly had to be GDPR compliant, and after this law there appeared a lot of projects who helped the companies to become a GDPR compliant. Urgent problem. An urgent problem is a problem which needs to be solved as soon as possible, no matter what cost. For example, ordering a pizza right now or an umbrella renting service. It's great when a problem you choose will have more than one of both. There is another way to categorize a problem. There is a so-called BLAC framework. A problem can be blatant, for example, a huge line in a check-in at an airport. A problem can be latent, for example, storing a password or ordering a taxi. Critical, every company needs a CRM to manage their clients. Aspirational, for example, a more comfortable to-do list management tool. So a perfect idea is blatant, critical, has no other solutions, urgent, and forced to be solved from the outer world. So you have chosen a perfect idea, but before starting making a product, you should validate this idea. and check out if you will be able to make some money with it. The first step would be calculating the market volume. You need to make a research and understand whether this market will have enough money for you to earn. There is no simple solution, there are no online calculators. It's quite a complex topic and you will need to be creative. Draw a picture of your future client. Is it a person or a company? If company, how huge? If a person, where do they live, their gender and interests? Use tools such as Google Trends, Google Keywords and similar web. Try to dig some data. Population of a city or list of companies. You can use the Build With website, it can be helpful. Try to find some competitors who share their revenue or other metrics of their company. To understand if your project will be in demand, you need to get some money, because money is the absolute criteria of a need. It is really naive to make conclusions based on a question: will you use our future tool? People will never tell you the truth because they don't know it by themselves. If you want to have a more or less realistic answer, you should ask only two questions. What do you do not want? And what have you done in the past? No questions about the future. But as I said, the absolute way to validate an idea is to get some money for it. There is a so-called MVP technique when you create an initial version of your tool and try to earn something. We will talk about how to build an MVP really quickly in the next videos. So that was a lot of information, but please allow me to give you some more tips. Write down all your ideas, even the craziest, the stupidest, the dumbest one. You will be able to review these ideas in the future. Be attentive to what's going on around you. Try to find opportunities. An idea doesn't have to be revolutionary. If you have something really creative and original, which no one have done before, most possibly the market you're thinking about is just too small to earn with, or you will have to boil an ocean to sell your product in the future. A perfect example is Uber or Airbnb. Two quite revolutionary services, but Travis and guys from Airbnb had to make a ton of work to sell their idea to the world and investors. Keep being yourself and follow your true passions. If you found something really trendy, don't dive into this instantly. If you will be chasing trends, you will be able to earn quick money. But it's another style of making startups. If you are able to make researches really quick, if you feel that trend, you can become a quick maker and make tools which live really short period. But I'm here talking about long-term projects, which take years to build and kickstart. So I will be encouraging you not to follow trends and focus on more fundamental passions of yourself. Monitor indie hackers and product hunt. Try to find out how other makers came up with this idea. Where was this point when they thought, yeah, that's a pain and I must build a product to solve it? What was they thinking about? Just ask them directly. Also, monitoring product hunt and indie hackers will give you an understanding of how a problem can be solved, and you will be able to solve another problem in this way. Always keep in mind this market thing. If your idea is perfect but the market is too small, there will be no chances you will earn something. Avoid cognitive biases. If you like eating healthy food, don't think that all the globe eats only healthy food. The best way is to calculate. Numbers never lie. Find information on how many people like greens and how many people prefer Big Macs. This is it. I hope these small tips will help you to find a perfect idea, validate it and build a product which will be used and welcomed by the world. It's a great feeling when you bring something really useful for people and they thank you really sincerely. It gives me energy. But it's also important to earn money on your startup. If you don't get any money, you will eventually be too tired to invest your time or your own money. A healthy product solves a problem which is needed by the world and also generates some revenue to keep it alive. I wish you good luck in finding the idea. Don't be afraid to try, to fail. Each failure is a big source of new experience. You will be evolving really quickly if you just start making small steps one by one. So have a nice day and see you in a week. Ciao!